Cool, I think I'm online, right? Yeah, I think so. Hey, good evening. Hi, Thierry. Nice to see you. How is it going? How was your week so far? I hope good. Did you make some cool new music? Um, yeah, I did. Welcome to my stream. Um, I made a post yesterday and about a track that I'm going to work on today, and that will be like the intro track or something for a set I'm working on right now. And I think I'm gonna first quickly go through this track. I started working with the arranger of the Oktatrack. Does this work? Do you hear me good? Is it okay? Do you hear me? I think so, yeah. I hope so. um, so yeah, that would be like a little, yeah, it's not a sound check. It's I'm still working on that pattern, and this track that I'm going to play now is super simple made and super fast. I think I worked on that like 1 hour or something. And I already combined it with a track that I was working on last week. So I'm gonna play with that patterns a little bit. And let's see, I have some things I want to adjust. I'm not really happy with that. But let's see. But first, before I play that, I want to make some promotion for myself. If you have some time, next week, Monday at 9 p.m. CET, there will be great. There will be a radio show on Radio Ibiza One, and that is a monthly radio show that I'm going to do for that radio station. It's super cool. And I have a mix of my music that is 1 hour. And what is super cool about this edition is they will play, or I will play, a brand new remix I did. I cannot tell you what it is because it was not officially announced by the artist yet. But that will be a premiere play, so I'm super excited about that. And maybe I'm going to play this intro song as well to see if that works or not. So let's just have a listen, and then I'm gonna go through the different parts of that track. I hope that works. This stupid arranger of the Oktatrack. I really hope it works. It seems so. Cool. It's hard to see my stuff with this iPhone here recording.
Is there anybody out there?
Thanks, Jerry. That is the name of the track. It's actually out there. And I did this voice again with that stupid voice generator. I really like that tool.
Is there anybody out there?
Thanks, man. That's super sweet of you. So this whole track will only be one pattern. So that gives me also like a comfortable slide into my set. I hope so, because it's super simple.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, I thought that's like a track. Well, the main theme, when you hear that, I want that to be a sound that's coming from somewhere and it comes closer and closer. That was the idea by creating this track.
Is there anybody out there? 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 Is there anybody out there?
Hey, Jonniken. Welcome.
Is there anybody out there?
Thierry, you mean this sequence with this little synth pling? That is the Digitone, actually.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, that's a sweet sound. I thought so. So that is like now this intro part. And then I'm going to try to make a transition to the next track that starts with the same sound like this. Or does it? I think so. Hi, Lawrence. Nice to meet you. If I can hear you. Yeah, so the transition kind of works. And those two tracks, they have the same speed. And the second track will be like the title track of this whole set. So I thought that might be a good idea. But what I don't like is the snare. I was thinking about that the whole day, actually. That's the snare of this track. It's just not cool. I don't know what you think. I think this is more... It's too punchy. I think I need to change it. I want to make maybe a clap. Or a subtle woody sound or a spacey sound or something. So let's see. I think I have some stuff on my plus drive, but this is not so cool. That maybe. Let's try that out.
Is there anybody out there?
Not a big fan. I think I have to go for a clap. Or that one. Ah. Yeah, to that spoken sample. If you can hear, that's a great one. Okay, so I'm a little out of my mind. I had a super busy day today, so I have to calm down by making music. I like this one. So the drums in this track, they play a very low role because there's so much stuff going on in this track. I will go through the different parts after I change this now. Maybe I should have done that before. But there's so much random stuff going on in this track that I want to be the drums really very subtle. So that is why I don't like this original snare sound, and I want to change it to something else. So maybe this sound is cool. Yeah, this is nice.
Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, that is a cool sound. That is very cool. Okay, I will quickly go through the tracks so you guys know what's going on here. So track number 1 is just a kick. And I have chosen a kick that has a pretty high-end click on top. Because I was using some more deeper kicks but they didn't cut through the mix because there's one super fat synth sound that creates this dark atmosphere. And this kick sound has to fight against that sound. And this was the better solution for me, to have a kick that plays with the high end actually. Then there is a super simple thanks Jerry. That is a super simple hi-hat. And I was thinking about changing the amplitude. Is super short, as you can see here. It's originally, this is a longer sound. But I want it very subtle. So this is why I changed this to a super small, short hold time. So maybe this one is even better. No, that's a little too low. This one is better. But I had the idea while I was in the shower this morning. I don't know, guys, if you have your ideas in the shower. I do. To bring in some modifications by adding an LFO to the sample and modulate a little bit of the tuning. So we get like a little up and down sound thing. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe not so much. Very subtle. Still too much. Still too much. Maybe only 3. Yeah, that is pretty cool. And the cool thing is, because this whole... Yeah, I told you last time that I started switching from one pattern creations to a little more complex tracks. And now I would need to copy this changed head to all the other patterns. But because I was still stuck to my old workflow, this track is only one pattern, and it's not necessary for me to create now a second pattern, because I only blend in one track after the other. There's no situation when I have to turn off a track on the Digitakt and one on the Digitone at the same time. If that would be the case, I would have a second pattern that does it for me. But right now, I don't, so I don't have to change it on other tracks. So this is cool. Now we have this new hi-hat, this new snare. Yeah, that is a cool idea as well. I do that very often to create some movements, very subtle, by adding an LFO to the start point of a sample. That can be super nice transitions. You are totally right. So this is now this snare sound, and I added some effects on that. And I'm not sure, so if you know me, you will also know that I tend to overload my tracks with reverb. And I have the very slight feeling that this happened to this track as well. Because I wanted to create like a super huge space where stuff is coming in and some coming out. So maybe this is already a little too much of reverb. Hey, Gabriel. Welcome. No, you are not too late. We just started. Well, 20 minutes, but you can still watch the recording afterwards. So this is yeah, this is a hi-hat. This is I'm a little confused. This is a snare, and I think I'm gonna leave that for now. Maybe turn off the reverb. Yeah, I think it doesn't need reverb. Yeah, I think we don't want the reverb right now. Then we have a sound that you hear a lot in my latest tracks. That is like a hiss sound, or like it's a tape recording actually. I think Gabriel knows that pretty well because his latest album plays a lot with lo-fi sounds, and I heard a lot of stuff like that. But I can't tell you if this is a real stuff. The sample park told me, I bought it somewhere, and it told me that it was recorded by real machines. But I don't work with them, so I believe what they say. Anyways, so this sound gives also a little lo-fi feeling to this whole arrangement. But maybe I'm going to change it at a later point, because I wanted to create actually a beginning atmosphere of space. I'm not sure if this is the right sound for it. But for now, I leave it because it will make a nice transition to the next track, which starts with a similar sound. So that is why I leave it in there for now. Then we have, what is here? This is a very interesting part because it creates random sounds. You see that there are a lot of tricks, and each of the tricks plays a different sound. So I wasted a lot of sounds on this one track, but it's only for one page. I repeated those pages. And those sounds, they play with probability of 7%. So they only play very less. So they don't so they don't overplay, because they do a lot of, they use a lot of effects. So you see that the delay has a pretty high feedback, and they also use a very long, or well, not very long, but they have a long time. Yeah. So when they play, they fill the room with their delay. And that is what I really like. This is actually not really the space, but I think it's a cool effect, actually. Yeah, I think so. It sounds like a real tape, yeah. And this alone creates a lot of variation. When maybe you heard that. Yeah, well, Gabriel, you didn't hear that in the beginning, but maybe I'm going to jam that track again. This alone creates a lot of randomness and variation in the track, which is what I really like. Yeah, that snare is pretty nice. Yeah, so this is track number 5. Then we have this voice that you heard. Let's do these off. And the voice is another one that I created with this voice generator. And that plays only, so the whole arrangement is centered around, maybe I start with track number 7, because actually the track started, or the creation started with this sound, and the whole arrangement is centered around this sound. And when this sound plays, the other elements of the tracks don't play. So there is like a question and answer going on. I'm gonna show you the Digitone tracks as well, but it's the same. Most of the elements, they only play when this sound is not playing, and that sound only plays 1/4 times. It's the playhead passes it, or I don't know how to express. And for this one, I was thinking about removing. Oh no, I think I'm on the wrong track. Yeah, let's go to the right track. Am I on the right track? Yeah. And I was thinking of removing some of the deeper frequencies to keep space for the bass sound that's coming from the Digitone later. But when I do that, the sound doesn't sound so powerful anymore. I don't know if you hear the difference, but I think I should leave it a little bit in this area here to keep this space free for the kick and for the bass sound. Okay. And then we have this voice, which plays now only when the other sound is not playing. So there's like a counterpart.
Is there anybody out there?
I don't like the reverb on this one. It's a little too much. Maybe I have to go down with the input high pass filter a little bit. How do you like this
anybody out there?
How do you like the reverb on this sound? Is it too much? Maybe I should put the reverb a little down.
Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, well, with that, I'm not really sure. So for now, I'm gonna keep that. And then we have this pad sound, which is pretty much me, I think. It's just a drone, and I really like the chord. That feels a little like there is something in the air. And that is what I like about that sound. So it feels like something will happen. Okay, so these ones are these are no, these are the Digitakt tracks. Oh my god, I'm a little stupid today. But the track starts with this track blended out. So the track starts with only this tape sound. And then I bring in that sound by opening up the volume. Okay, so let's save that one because I changed some stuff. Hi, Rustic. I think we are great, so I can only talk for myself. I'm great because I actually really like the new music I'm doing. So what do you think? Yeah, it's a little too much reverb, I know. Something I have to figure out later. I'm doing great. How are you? I hope you're doing good as well. I'm going through the Digitone tracks now, and they are pretty simple. So there's only one sound that's also playing after the big, how to say that, the big monster sound played. And that is also a sound that creates a little spaciness. Super easy. That's everything that is going to do. I might go and tweak the parameters while I'm performing later. But I think, yeah. So super simple. Then it's like the ARP bass sound. Oh, this is nice. I like that sound, but I don't want to destroy my bass sound actually. So this sound uses some effects. It uses a little delay. Oh, I haven't configured that one. So let's put that delay a little down. And this sound doesn't use the ping pong effect because I thought that made the track pretty weird sounding. And there's some filter left, so when the sound starts, the frequency is a little put down, and when I perform, I can open up the filter to make a part a little more dramatic or something. So something I can really play with. Cool, that is that sound. And then we have the sequence that's playing, and that is something Thierry asked me while I was performing. And that sound is super nice. I blend it in as well. It uses a lot of reverb as well. And because the LFO modulates the amp, how is it called? The chorus send actually. The reverb differs from time to time. I really like that effect, and you can subtly hear that when you hear the track. And when the drums go off, I gonna bring in, or I change the mix of the two oscillators, and then I get a super sweet bell arp. Yeah, that is super sweet. So these are the Digitone tracks. I only use 3 in this arrangement. Let's load that. And this arrangement uses the peak as well. And the peak is sequenced by the Oktatrack. But it only plays 2 notes, and there's like a pad sound playing. Hey, Angik Panja, what's a cool name? Thanks. Glad you like it, and welcome to my little live stream. And the peak is playing a pretty. I don't want to say boring pad sound, but I think it fits pretty nicely in. So, and it plays 2 different notes, but not so often. And I can also, when you hear that sound, maybe it plays now. It should. Hey Thierry, thanks for joining in. Hope you have enjoy the rest of your night, I want to say. Bye, Thierry. There we go. And this sound is also connected to these animate buttons. This is the sound I found in a sample in a preset bank, and I really like that sound. So this is like the whole arrangement, and I want to check. I want to check this reverb if that is a little too much. The reverb of that sound. Okay, let's play the whole arrangement.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Bye, Thierry. Well, in the mix, I think it's cool.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
What happens if I don't use reverb on that track?
Is there anybody out there?
No, that doesn't work. Completely not. No. So full on again. Hey Manfred, schön dich zu sehen. Alles klar. Geht's dir gut?
Is there anybody out there?
So I'm not happy with that sound, with that reverb. I think I have to change it a little bit. Maybe.
Is there anybody out there?
Maybe should put the shelving frequency a little bit down. Okay, let's see the next time it plays.
Is there anybody out there?
No, it's not. Well, I am.
Is there anybody out there?
No, that doesn't work.
Is there anybody out there? 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 Is there anybody out there?
Ooh, that is a lot.
Is there anybody out there?
Schön, dass du eingeschaltet hast, Manfred. Freut mich.
Is there anybody out there?
So this is the opposite of what I wanted to do.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
So you see, you can do a lot of stuff with this shelving gains and stuff.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Maybe this is a darker reverb. Maybe I like this one.
Is there anybody out there?
But the thing is, if I do that, my nice effect channel is also destroyed because it lives from the reverb space.
Is there anybody out there?
So I think I'm gonna leave that for now as it was.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there?
Okay, I leave it for now. It's
Is there anybody out there?
yeah. I think I leave that for now. That's okay. I think that's cool. So let's save it in the state that I'm going to start performing this track. Put down the level. And that I just need to reload. Yeah. Okay. So, and now I want to see if I can, let's save it again. I don't know how often you save your work. I constantly press save. Sometimes I do that too much. I really would love to see if they would implement an undo feature. And sometimes I really have on my mind, let's undo that, but you can't because there's no undo button. And then I'm searching for it. In my brain is already searching for an undo button just to realize there is none. Okay. And now I want to see how I can create the transition to the second track of the set a little better. So the first track will stop with in the same state than it started. So it stops like this. And the second track starts with a sound that sounds a little similar. Can you hear it? What I did is the first pattern of the second track, I stored it in a second sound in a second pattern bank. Sorry. Yeah, undo would be so nice. I don't need an history, like an undo history. I just want to be able to undo one fucking step. That would be awesome. But anyways, I think it's a concept of those boxes. So what I did for this track is, or for the first pattern of this track, no. I placed a trick on the first pattern that only plays once. But because it only plays once, it fades out pretty fast. And I want to try to make it the fade out a little more. But the problem is this tape sound from track 1 that plays in the background is looped. It's not playing long enough. So I think I stopped before I started the stream. I was working on that sound. And I think I need to loop this sound. So it's going to loop it. Hi, Shiharia? Shiharia Sultan? Do I pronounce that the right way? I hope so. Welcome. Hi. Are you a Digitakt producer too? I think most of the guys in the chat are. And Quibit All Stars, I didn't see you before. Sorry. Hi. I think most of you guys use Digitakt. Am I wrong? Okay, that plays now. That's cool. But I think I have to make it longer, like 50. Yeah. Yeah, now it fades out pretty smooth. That is what I wanted to do. Cool. So let's see how the transition works. Let's save it first. So this is track number 1 that's out there. And let's see what happens if I switch now to the second track. That is this pattern. Yeah, that's nice. But the sound is a little louder than the first track. Cool. So let's go back to that track. And I think I have to change. Is that the level or is that the overdrive? So in the second track, this sound is a little too loud. So the volume is 110. And the level is 100. Okay. Let's switch back to that pattern. That was 100. That is good. Maybe I should make this also 200. Yeah. Okay, so let's check. Thanks. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's true. It's nice to watch other artists how they do stuff. Do you produce with Ableton, or do you have like a computer, or you're completely not a music producer? I'm interested. Tell me. So let's now switch to the second pattern. Still too loud. Yeah, that was still a little too loud. Let's make that a little down. Okay. Track number 1. Yeah, it's still hearable, but I think I can live with that. Yeah. Yeah.
We are made of dust.
We are made of dust.
Hey, Swabish. Nice to see you. So now, because you're all there, because I told that in the beginning, but then only Thierry was in the show, in the chat, but he left now. If you want to hear some of my music, I have a radio show on a radio station on Ibiza. That's Radio Ibiza 1, Ibiza. And Monday at 9 p.m. CET, they broadcast a radio show that I do that's once a month. And that is called 112 BPM. And in this show, I will premiere a new remix I did for an artist I can't tell you right now because I think they will an announcement on Friday. But the remix is super cool. So if you want to hear some music from me, some new music, I might play one of the tracks that I arrange right now. Maybe you should really check in there. That's really a super cool show. I will put a link in my description on my Instagram page as well if you really want to do that. So yeah, for now, I think I'm good with this arrangement. So I'm pretty happy that I started working with the Oktatrack arranger tonight, right before I prepared up for the show, and it's super simple It's super simple to do, actually. Ah, the MC707. Are you happy with that? Is that from Archive, right? I'm not in the Archive word, so I have to ask you. Is that a drum? Is that a drum machine? Cool. So for now, I'm cool. But what I want to do next is, and this will be the tricky part, the set consists of tracks that are playing faster. So I want to go into a little faster direction in the future. So let's save these guys here. No, this one not. I didn't change anything. But let's save this arrangement, and let's add a new row to my arranger that switches the speed. I think for that I first have to modify this pattern. Tempo to 90 BPM. I hope I do that the right way. Yes. Then we have made of dust, blah, 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 blah. And then let's add a new row that starts at A1. Because my third track will start at A1. And then let's loop this for now infinitely. Okay. Oh yeah, and then the speed of that one is, I think it's 120 BPM. So let's see if that works. No? Is there nothing in there? Yeah, that is my arrangement. But the arranger didn't work how I wanted to do. So let's go into the editor again. I did that wrong. So I have to loop row number 14 infinitely. Okay, so let's see if that works now. Yeah, but I think something is not right with the arrangement. So maybe we go for another track, because with this song something is not right. Maybe the pattern is wrong of the patch of the peak, or something else. So maybe try to play here. Sorry. Let's go for a C1. I think that's also, that is also a 120 BPM track. But that is still not the track I want to do. let's go for the next pattern. Let's see. Oh yeah, the parts are something that comes to my tracks as well soon. So why doesn't it change? Come on. Interesting. Ah, there we go. So you see, this next track will be a little more dancey, but I'm still working on that. This pattern is very raw. So yeah. Oh, my hour is over, guys. I really hoped you liked the session. If you want, you can leave your questions, or if you watch this recording after the live, you can still leave your questions in the comments, and I'm going to answer them very soon. Maybe I'm going to release, or maybe I'm going to upload the first track that you heard today for the weekend on my YouTube. I'm not sure, because I have to record it for the radio show. Yeah, and if you want to connect with me, you know where you can find me on Instagram or my website, www.59perlen.com. Guys, see you next week. Next week is the next one. So you see, I'm going to work constantly on this new track, on this new set. This set will premiere in the first week of November. So that's still a long time. But I want to have a really cool set. So I'm gonna constantly work on defining the patterns. So next week I want to work on a dancey track. And the goal is to create a set that lasts for 1 hour, because I will have event at my place. I'm going to record that, and not sure if I'm going to stream that live, but I will record it and put it on my YouTube. And possibly I will make an album of that. That's not really decided yet. But I will constantly work on the tracks of this set during the upcoming weeks. So if you want to stay in, tune in next week. It's Wednesday at 8 p.m. CET. So see you soon, guys, and thanks for watching. Super cool that you have been there, and a big shout out to Gabriel, to All Stars, to Swabish, who was there? Manfred, Thierry, Jonik, Rustic, Angik, Lawrence, and all you guys. Super cool you tuned in. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.